Hello everyone, this is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor, Triple Department, working in ISL Engineering College. So we are going to continue with the topic of equal area criterion. Equal area criterion is a simple graphical method for concluding the transient stability of two machine systems or a single machine against an infinite bus. This principle will not require the swing equation for determination of stability conditions. Stability conditions can be recognized by equating the areas of segments on the power angle diagram between the P curve and the new power transfer line of the given curve. In a system where one machine is swinging with respect to an infinite bus, it is possible to study transient stability by means of simple equal area criterion without resorting to the numerical solution of swing equation. So the principle of this method is consisting on the basis that when delta oscillates around the equilibrium point with constant amplitude, transient stability will be maintained. So this is a plot of delta versus t, where we are showing stable and unstable systems, and we can see that here at delta max, d delta by dt is equal to 0. So after this point, we can see the system is stable. Until this point, the system is unstable. We have seen these two conditions. First one is in the previous classes we have seen the two conditions, and today's class we are going to see another two. Okay. So first one was sudden change in mechanical input. So this figure is showing the transient model of a single machine tied to infinite bus bar. Okay. So at that time the power transmitted will be given by mod E dash mod V by xt dash plus xc sine delta, that is equal to P max sine delta. So PE value we got as P max sine delta. So under steady operating conditions, PM naught is equal to PE naught is equal to P max sine delta naught. So let the mechanical input to the rotor is suddenly increased to PM1. So accelerating power PA is equal to PM1 minus PE will cause the rotor speed to increase, and also the rotor angle will also increase because of this accelerating power. So at angle delta 1, PA will be equal to PM1 minus PE, that is equal to 0, but the rotor angle continues to increase as omega is greater than omega s. PA will now become negative decelerating, that is it is going into now decelerating mode. So when PA becomes negative, the rotor speed will begin to reduce, but the angle will continue to increase till angle delta naught. Okay. Whereas in the previous case we have seen that in the accelerating case, rotor speed is PA is causing the speed to increase. Okay. Now the speed will decrease, but the angle will continue to increase. Okay. Where omega is equal to omega s once again, and the decelerating area A2 equals the accelerating area A1. Now the condition for equal area criterion is that the integral delta naught to delta 2 PA d delta is equal to 0. Since the rotor is decelerating, speed will reduce below omega s and the rotor angle will begin to reduce. System will oscillate about the new steady state point, that is delta is equal to delta 1 with angle acceleration up to delta naught and delta 2 on the two sides. These oscillations will be similar to the simple harmonic motion of an inertia spring system, except that these are not sinusoidal. So as the oscillations decay out because of inherent system damping, okay, the system will settle to a new steady state where PM1 is equal to P is equal to P max sine delta 1. So A1 and A2 areas we are writing from the figure. Okay. Okay, A1 and A2 values we are writing. A1 is equal to integral delta naught to delta 1 PM1 minus PE delta d delta, and A2 is equal to integral delta 1 to delta 2 PE minus PM1 d delta. For the system to be stable, so it should be possible to find out angle delta 2 such that A1 is equal to A2. As PM1 is increased, a limiting condition is finally reached when A1 equals the area above the PM1 line. So under this condition, delta 2 acquires maximum value such that delta 2 is equal to delta max pi minus delta 1. Delta 1 value is sine inverse of PM1 by P max. So now delta 2 is equal to pi minus sine inverse of PM1 by P max. So this is a diagram showing the limiting case of transient stability with mechanical input suddenly increased. So any further increase in PM1 means that area available for A2 is less than A1, so that excess kinetic energy will cause delta to increase beyond point C, and the decelerating power will change to accelerating power, and system will become unstable. So with the help of equal area criterion, there is an upper limit to sudden increase in mechanical input for the system to remain stable. So system will remain stable even though the rotor may oscillate beyond delta equal to 90 degrees as long as the equal area criterion is met. So the condition delta equal to 90 degrees is meant for use in steady state stability only and does not apply to transient stability case. Then second case was effect of clearing time on stability. Now when the system is operating with some mechanical input PM at a steady angle of delta naught, if a three-phase fault is occurring at a point P of outgoing radial line, electrical output of generator will reduce to zero and the state point will drop to P. Okay. Accelerating area A1 begins to increase and so does the rotor angle while the state point will move along the BC. At time Tc corresponding to angle delta C, faulted line is cleared by opening of the line circuit breaker. So now what are these Tc and delta C? Tc is nothing but clearing time and delta C is a clearing angle. So system once again becomes healthy and transmits power. P is equal to P max sine delta. That is, state point will shift to D on the original P delta curve, and rotor will now decelerate, and the decelerating area I2 will begin while the state point will move along DE. Here we can see in this diagram the both accelerating and decelerating areas. Okay. If we are finding out angle delta 1 such that areas A1 is equal to A2, system is found to be stable. Okay, A1 should be equal to A2, system is stable at that time. So system will finally settle down to steady operating point in an oscillating manner because of inherent damping. Value of clearing time corresponding to clearing angle can be established by numerical integration. An equal area criterion will give only qualitative answer to the system stability because as the time when the breaker should be open is hard to establish. So this is a diagram where we can see this is critical clearing angle delta CR. This is delta naught, delta max. These are areas A1 and A2. So as clearing of faulty line is delayed, A1 will increase and delta 1 is also increasing, and we are finding out the value of A1 is equal to A2 till delta 1 is equal to delta max. For a clearing time or angle larger than this value, system can be unstable because area A2 is less than area A1. Maximum allowable value of clearing time and angle for the system to remain stable are nothing but critical clearing time and critical clearing angle. Okay, so what is critical clearing time and angle? Maximum allowable value of the clearing time and the angle for the system to remain stable are known as critical clearing time and critical clearing angle. For the simple case, P is equal to 0 during fault. So we can establish a relationship between delta C and Tc, and all angles we are taking in radians. So delta max is pi minus delta naught and Pm is P max sine delta naught. A1 value is, after seeing the graph, we are writing the values of A1 and A2. So A1 is equal to integral delta naught to delta critical Pm minus 0 d delta, that is Pm into delta critical minus delta naught. Similarly, A2 value we are writing. And for the system to be stable, both these areas should be equal. A1 should be equal to A2 or A2 is equal to A1. So we are going to get the value of, when we equate these two equations, we are getting the value of cos delta critical as Pm by P max delta max minus delta naught plus cos delta max, where delta CR is critical clearing angle. Then delta CR is cos inverse of pi minus 2 delta naught sin delta naught minus cos delta naught. So during the period the fault is persisting, swing equation is d square delta by dt square is pi f by h Pm, and integrating this equation twice we are going to get the value of uh, critical clearing time as under root 2h delta critical minus delta naught by pi f Pm. So explicit relationship for determining TCR is possible in this case as during the faulted condition P is equal to 0 and swing equation can be integrated in closed form. So this will not be the case in most of the situations. Okay. So third case, that is today's topic, is sudden loss of one of parallel lines. So now let us consider a single machine tied to an infinite bus through two parallel lines as shown in this figure for A. Okay. So let us study the transient stability of the system when one of the lines is suddenly switched off with the system operating at a steady load. Before switching off, power angle curve is given by PE1 is equal to mod E dash mod V by XD plus X1 in parallel with X2 sine delta, that is P1 max 1 sine delta. And so immediately on switching off line 2, power angle curve is PE2 is given by mod E dash mod V by XD dash plus X1 sine delta, that is P max 2 sine delta. Here we can see in the second figure, so one of the lines, that second line, is switched off. So both these curves are plotted in the figure, in this figure, that is PE1. PE1 is both lines in and PE2 is line 2 out. So system is operating initially with a steady power transfer P is equal to PM at torque angle delta naught on curve I. So immediately on switching off line 2, electrical operating point will shift to curve 2, that is point B. Accelerating energy corresponding to area A1 is put into rotor followed by decelerating energy for delta equal greater than delta 1. Assuming that area A2 corresponding to decelerating energy can be found out such that A1 is equal to A2, system will be stable and will finally operate at C corresponding to a new rotor angle delta 1 which is greater than delta naught. So this is so because a single line offers larger reactance and larger rotor angle is needed to transfer the same steady power. So this diagram is showing two curves here. First one is PE1, second one is PE2. For PE1, both lines are in. For PE2, line 2 is out. Okay, these are the various operating points A, B, C, D. And these are the areas A1 and A2. So this is equal area criterion applied to opening of one of the two lines in parallel. So it is easy to see that if the steady load is increased, that is line PM is shifted upwards, a limit will be finally reached beyond which the decelerating area will be equal to A1 cannot be found and therefore the system behaves as an unstable. First, for limiting case of stability, delta 1 has a maximum value which is given by delta 1 is equal to delta max that is equal to pi minus delta C, which is the same example, same as previous one. Okay. Now, fourth one is sudden short circuit on one of the parallel lines. In that we are having three cases. First one, case 1, short circuit at one end of line. So let us assume the disturbance to be a short circuit at the generator end of line 2 of a double circuit line as shown in this figure A. So we shall assume the fault to be a three-phase one. So before the occurrence of a fault, power angle curve is given by PE1 is mod E dash mod V by XD dash plus X1 in parallel with X2 sine delta, that is equal to P max 1 sine delta, which is plotted in figure. So upon the occurrence of a three-phase fault at the generator end of line 2, generator gets isolated from the power system for purposes of power flow. So during the period the fault will last, that is P2 is equal to 0. Rotor therefore will accelerate and angle delta will increase. Synchronism will be lost unless the fault is cleared in time. So circuit breakers at the two ends of the faulted line open at the time TC, that is the clearing time, disconnecting the faulted line. Power flow is now restored via the healthy lines, that is through higher line reactance X2 in place of X1 parallel with X2. So with power angle curve. So now PE3 will be equal to mod E dash mod V by XD dash plus X1 sine delta. So in place of X1 in parallel with X2, we are taking another line with reactance X2. Okay. So now PE3 is equal to P max 2 sine delta. So P max 2 is less than P max 1. Rotor now starts to decelerate as shown in this figure. So first one is showing PE1, second one is showing PE2. System will be stable if a decelerating area A2 can be found equal to accelerating area A1 before delta reaches maximum allowable value delta max. As area A1 depends upon clearing time Tc, clearing time must be less than a certain value for the system to be stable. So it is to be observed that equal area criterion helps to determine critical clearing angle and not critical clearing time. So critical clearing time can be obtained by numerical solution of swing equation that we are going to see in the next class. Okay. So we are going to find out only critical clearing angle by using the equal area criterion, whereas critical clearing time is obtained by numerical solution of swing equation. So this diagram is showing equal area applied to a system of normal system, second fault applied and third fault line isolated. So it is easily following that larger initial loading in PM increases even for a given clearing angle, and therefore quicker fault clearing would be needed to maintain stable operation. Case B, short circuit away from line ends. When the fault will occur away from the line ends, say in the middle of the line, there is some power flow during the fault, though considerably it is reduced one, as different from case A where P2 is 0. So the circuit will now reduce to C. Okay, now B circuit in figure B is now reducing to circuit in figure C. So through one delta star and one star delta conversion, instead node elimination technique can be employed. Okay, and power angle curve during the fault is given by P2 is mod E dash mod V by X2 sine delta, that is equal to P max 2 sine delta. P1 and P3 and P2 as obtained above are all plotted in this figure now. Okay, all P1, P2, P3 we are plotting at one place, and accelerating area corresponding to a given critical clearing angle delta C is less now. In this case, giving a better chance for stable operation, stable system operation is shown where it is possible to find area A2 which is equal to A1 for delta 2 less than delta max. As the clearing angle delta C is increased, area A1 will increase, and to find A2 is equal to A1, delta 2 should increase till it has a value delta max. That is the maximum allowable for stability. So this is the case of critical clearing angle as shown in this figure. We can see here this is delta naught and this is delta critical clearing angle, and this is delta 2 which is delta max, and P1, P2, P3 we are showing here. Applying equal area criterion to the case of critical clearing angle, we can write integral delta naught to delta critical Pm minus Pmax sine Pmax to sine delta into d delta is equal to integral delta critical delta max Pmax 3 sine delta minus Pm d delta, where delta max is pi minus sine inverse of Pm by Pmax 3. After integration, we are going to get the value of cos delta critical is equal to Pm into delta max minus delta naught minus Pmax 2 to cos delta naught plus Pmax 3 cos delta max by Pmax 3 minus Pmax 2. Critical clearing angle can be calculated from this equation. Angles in this equation are in radians. Equation will modify if the angles are in degrees. So if we are finding out in degrees, okay, cos delta critical is pi by 180 into P max, so delta max minus delta naught minus P max 2 cos delta naught plus P max 3 cos delta max by P max 3 minus P max 2. Now let us see the third case, reclosure. If the circuit breakers of line 2 are reclosed successfully, that is the fault was a transient one and therefore vanished when clearing the faulty line, the power transfer once again will become PE4 is equal to PE1, that is equal to P max 1 sin delta. Since reclosure will restore power transfer, chances of stable operation will improve. So now the critical clearing angle we can obtain by delta 1 is equal to delta max, that is pi minus sin inverse of P max Pm by P max 1. The integral delta naught to delta critical Pm minus P max to sin delta d delta is equal to integral delta critical delta naught to delta critical P max 3 sin delta minus Pm d delta plus integral delta critical to delta max P max 1 sin delta minus Pm d delta. So this is the diagram showing fault in middle of a line of the system where we can find out the clearing angle and angle of reclosure. Delta C is the clearing angle and delta 2 is the angle of reclosure. TRC is equal to TCR plus tau, where tau is the time between clearing and reclosure. Thank you everyone for watching the video. In the next class, I am going to say about the step-by-step procedure to find out the swing equations, and also we are going to see some numericals based on the critical clearing angle and critical clearing time. Thank you everyone for watching the video.